Hi guys, hello, welcome, welcome to high school biology. Today we are going to study about the transportation in the circulatory system, the introduction of the circulatory system. Okay, we know that all of organisms need nutritions and liquids and gases, right? They all need to uh, nutritions, nutrients and gases, liquids, right, to growth and to maintenance their body, right? So these all materials has to these all materials has to transport to every part of the body of that organism, right? Whether that is multicellular or unicellular. So if we look at that unicellular organisms, it not take to be it may not take longer distance in unicellular organisms, while in multicellular organisms it takes too long distance. We can say that 100 feet height of the plant, which is the longest highest plant on the earth, right? So in unicellular, or we can say lower organisms, amoeba, hydra. In these lower organisms, it no need to transport long distance. Why? Because they have a simple transport. You can say like that diffusion. By the diffusion and osmosis. Through this process, these three materials uh, reach to their in body. But if we apply this same method in the higher organisms, in higher animals, it would take years. Why? Because in higher organisms, higher animals, they have trillions cells in their body, right? So to avoid that delay, so we need a special particular specialized system, which is much more and much faster, which is carried out in that all these materials. So that system, which is developed by the organisms, we call that the circulatory system. This circulatory system, which is developed by the organisms. Okay, let's look at the how the circulation goes on in our body. Okay, so we eat solids, and we drink the liquids, and we breathe the uh, gases, right? But these solids and liquids, gases, these all three materials reaches through by one single system. Do you think that these three materials will reach to every part of our body by the single system? Yes, obviously there is a single system. Have you ever observed that doctors used to uh, hold the patient wrist when they are trying to the patient is sick? He used to hold the patient wrist and he used to look at his watch for 1 minute. Do you think that wonder what he is going to do? Do you wonder about that? Yeah, we know that he is counting that heartbeat per minute. We know that. But how you you too can try what a doctor doing there, right? Just your index and the middle finger keep on your wrist below the thumb and start your watch for a minute and count that. You can feel that something pushes your fingers rhythmically, which we call the pulse, right? So this pulse, it's not constant in every uh, organism, and every it is different. It's not constant. It's completely different. I mean, it varies person to person, situation to situation. So it not constant, this pulse rate. So when example, if you took a look, when you are afraid, or when you are excited, that time your pulse rate goes up, right? Your pulse rate goes high, right? So that's what happened. But here there is a relationship between the pulse rate and the heartbeat. There is a relationship between heartbeat and pulse rate. Yes. So okay, just let's look at the different age groups of the pulse rate of in different age groups. If you look at 3 months, up to 3 months babies, their pulse rate 100 to 150, and in 6 months to 12 months babies, their pulse rate can say that 80 to 120. And 10 years, over 10 years children's, over 10-year children's and adults, senior citizens, their pulse rate 60 to 100. And the well formed body, well fit athletes, their pulse rate, for athletes we can say athletes, their pulse rate 40 to 60 per minute. So this is the generally we know. Do you know that stethoscope stethoscope which is doctors used to hear the patient heartbeat, right? It is like, you all of know, no need to draw, but you know that is stethoscope. So this stethoscope discovered in the year of 1816 by Rene Laennec. He discovered the stethoscope first time in 1816, in the year of 1816. Before the discovery of this stethoscope, doctors used to hear the patient heartbeat by keeping their air on their chest. But he did this. He did a small experiment. He took a paper and he folded like a tube, folded like a tube, and he keeps on one side on a patient heart chest, and one side he used to hear the heartbeat. After that, he used instead of that he used a bamboo tree tube. Bamboo tea tube, which is looks like, you can say, a tube, a solid tube, like strong. So this is how the stethoscope was discovered, and he named it this bamboo tube. He named to this stethoscope. So that's how the stethoscope discovered. Okay guys, so this is the just introduction about the transportation and the circulation system. We'll look at in next class internal and the external structure of the heart and how the transportation happens in our body. Okay, thank you guys, thanks for watching.